Irritability, erraticism, impulsiveness, innovation. Ah, these are such strong themes now, and we have to acknowledge them because they hold the key to our destiny point of what our life is meant to be. How we need to go about these things is very crucial and critical. How we approach Uranian matters is very crucial and critical. And what I'm going to be talking about today is an encapsulation of all of these themes. I'm Everett Kearney, and I'm going to be talking about the astrology of October 26th and 27th. I'm going to talk about all the aspects going on during these couple of days. And then when I am done, I pulled oracle cards from The Sacred Traveler Oracle by Denise Lynn. This is a brand new oracle deck. I've had it for a couple weeks now. And I pulled a couple cards which I'm going to reveal to you when we get there. So, how this video is going to work is I'm going to talk about the astrology of October 26th, and then I'm going to reveal to you the oracle card that I pulled. Then I'm going to talk about the astrology of October 27th, reveal the oracle card that I pulled. That's how this works. So, let's get started. We don't have a whole lot going on. That's why I really want to slow down and focus in and hone in on what the really important bits and pieces of what we're talking about really is the definition for. So let's first start talking about the moon squaring Uranus. Very first aspect. This makes us feel erratic and impulsive. We may want to act on impulse. We might want to judge the petals and act on our impulsivity, act on the spur of what we want in the moment, the spur of what we crave in the moment, of what we feel, of what we feel like doing in the moment, of what we say in the moment that's raw, it's unprocessed, it's not integrated yet, it's not filtered yet. It is very in the moment, very quick, very decisive, very one to batten. That's what this is. And so this can also be very erratic energy. This is a very erratic type of energy here. Now, impatience is yet another theme with this particular energy. We're feeling more impatient. We're feeling more restless. We don't want to wait around for results. We want to get to the battens as soon as we can, and we want to win the bat as soon as we can. We want to get to our end destination very, very quickly, and we want instant gratification. We don't want the long haul, the process, the Saturn and Taurus long road of, slow and steady wins the race. We want things to happen as soon as they can possibly happen. We're impatient for waiting for results. We're impatient for things to go our way or not. We want things to go our own individual way at this time. That's how we're feeling. And so there is a need to be free here, to rebel against anyone who tries to tie you down and force you to do something that you don't want to do. It's very likely that you want to color outside the lines at this time, or you want to get out of prison systems, or you want to rebel against the status quo of your life, or you want to map out your books and destroy them off the shelf and create new books and put those books on the shelf. So it becomes very impulsive, like we want the change, we want to rebel, we want the instant fix, we want to sort of journal about something and then get rid of that journal because it doesn't serve us anymore. It doesn't make sense for us anymore. So what we want to do is we want to sort of understand where this need is coming from. The need to suddenly just rebel against every last big structure in our lives. And so, because the moon is square Uranus, we may, if we're not careful, destroy the solid structures in our lives that are so stable, that are so long term, that are so long lasting. If we're not careful, we can wipe these things out entirely and do it in a way where we're not thinking about it very wisely. So, possibly there could be this hunt for something that brings you stimulation and that distracts you. You want stimulation now. You're feeling like you want to be very sort of swayed this area and that way and very on flake with your life. This can be that kind of thing where you want to be stimulated and you're looking for the things that stimulate you. You're hyper aware of any little thing out of your environment that can stimulate you. This also brings about heightened creativity and originality. So it brings about these types of things very well. Um, And so, what this can be is you're feeling more creative. You're feeling like you want to, create something, do something out of the box, or do something unexpected, totally different that you never thought about before. Um, you're feeling like you want to do something, very maverick life, very innovative. And so your imagination, your creativity is heightened now. It may be more difficult to keep up with your commitments if you have any long-term commitments or, obligations that you have to attend to. It may be more difficult to stay true to those things now. It's important to avoid making huge changes in our lives. This is not the opportune time to make changes. This is the time to let things be as they are, surrender to the flow of life, surrender the form of whatever you want to have happen in a certain way, and just sort of be present with what is already existing in your life. You can make changes, but small calculated changes are advised here, not big changes that you make out of impulse because you want things to be totally different than you want to just flip something over, basically. There may be emotional outbursts from friends and family. This may be another sort of cavity of this is, friends and family are very emotional, they're very reactive, they're very expressive. So, these emotional outbursts can come from friends and family if the food's not put in the right containers, if the leaves are not picked up and raked, if the clothes are not put away, whatever the situation is, these little annoyances in your environment of things not being just so can cause family members to become very just frustrated and they can express themselves in very emotional ways. So you want to make sure that you're attending to the details of your environment and doing anything that you can to avoid these emotional outbursts. So you're helping your family with managing these outbursts. You may also feel the need to run away from emotionally demanding circumstances. So, you may feel this pang to escape the really important, serious emotional matters of your life. To sort of pack up your bags and go on a trip impulsively, or do something freedom, like to to create a new Angel Gabriel blue in your kitchen, for instance. That may be something that you're thinking about. How can I remodel my kitchen? How can I make the space that I cook in more multiplicity like? So you may feel more compelled to rebel against routines and limitations if you have any routine or limitation that's stale, that's boring, yet it's comfortable, yet it's familiar. Now's the time to shake things up. Now it's this time to let fresh air into your life, try something different, innovate this, do this thing that's totally unexpected. Um, there is this need here for you to change up your routines, to do something to break from your routines and your feelings might be more electric at this time. And do be aware if you're getting involved in relationship drama that you're not getting sucked into that relationship drama. This is very, very important now. We have the sun coming into a sextile with the moon on this day as well. So the sun is in Scorpio, the moon is in um Virgo now. And so this is an earth water sextile, which is, Scorpio Virgo is the surgeon combination. Virgo is very much about the body, very much about health, and Scorpio is about sort of going into the deepest depths to transform you, really cutting you open and changing you from one version of yourself to another version of yourself. So that's why there is this surge in energy to Scorpio and Virgo. They're both about digging below the surface. They're both about getting to the nitty-gritty of things. They're both about finding truths of things. So that's sort of where these two signs can really bond, is their need to um scan out the details and investigate, basically. This brings about a balance to your emotional and rational side. Your rational thinking mind, your, left brain thinking mind, your more A plus B must equal C thinking mind is in balance with your emotions, your feelings, what you want and need at an emotional level. It's far easier. It's far easier to relax at this time. You're feeling more relaxed. You're feeling like you can slow down and just chill out, basically, at this time. Your subconscious and conscious mind, these two things, your subconscious and conscious mind, both of them seem to be in balance and functioning equally in balance. This is an aspect of great harmony as well. This is great for networking. Very, very good for networking, very good for any kind of social activity of any kind. Um, and do what truly nourishes your soul. Is it painting? Is it cooking? Is it gardening? Is it cleaning? Is it working with oracle cards? Is it Reiki? Is it Qigong? Whatever nourishes you on a soul level. Now's the time to put your focus on those areas of life. So which areas of life nourish you? This is good for hashing out and dealing with any relationship issue that you may have. So if you have relationship issues, any kind of thing like this, problems in relationship, this is a very, very good aspect to deal with that. This is good when it comes to speaking from your heart, really being very heart-spoken, heart-centered, speaking from your heart chakra, saying what is truly on your heart. You may be feeling nurturing and caring and very compassionate and very feminine, while also being very driven, very, very motivated, masculine, and optimistic. So this is balancing here when it comes to these things. And so your enthusiastic attitude can steer you in a positive direction. So you're feeling enthusiastic, and this steers you in a good place, basically. Your enthusiasm is not leading you astray this time, but doing whatever makes you enthusiastic is what this is calling you to do. And this brings about leadership in your career. As well, you're really thinking about how you can take the lead in your career setting, how you can step up to the plate and be the person who takes the lead of your career. So the card that I chose for this particular day from the Sacred Traveler Oracle is the card Ascending the Mountain. Isn't that gorgeous? Ascending the Mountain. Keep going forward, it says. This is a very Capricornian card. Capricorn, remember, is about persistence. It's about going after your goals. and taking one step at a time, putting one foot in front of the other in order to make your dreams a reality. That's Capricorn energy. So this is about putting the hard work in to achieve your dreams, basically, to achieve whatever you desire to achieve, even if it's hard. Be willing to do the hard work, be diligent, be vigilant, to do the hard work that needs to be done in order for your goals to be achieved. So this is about that willingness to do this. This is not about giving up. Do not give up. Keep pushing forward despite your adversity, despite the hardship, despite the challenges, with whatever of how this, however this translates for you in your life. Keep moving forward. Keep sticking your head up. Keep your head held high, and keep pushing forward. Keep taking one step forward at a time. And once you get to the top of the mountain, it all will be worth it. You'll look back and go, wow, all the hard work that I've done, and now you're reaping the fruits of your labor. Now you can feel like you've accomplished something, like you've truly mastered something in a way. That's that can be sort of a good omen with this. So this is really all about um any kind of boundary or limitation that you place on yourself, any kind of self-limiting belief or obstacle. Now is the time to get past those things. Keep pushing forward. If other people are limiting you or holding you back or challenging you, now is the time to prove those people wrong. And success isn't linear. Healing isn't linear. You will go back and forth. You'll keep making steps forward and keep making steps back. So it's okay to take a couple of steps back. As long as you regroup and you take more steps forward, you're still reaching your goal in that sense. Now, let's move on to October 27th. The aspect going on today is the moon is coming to a square with Venus. So the moon is square with Venus, which means that we're feeling moody and we're feeling self-indulgent. It's very, very, very critical here to cut back our addictions that are unhealthy for us, to cut back what we are overdoing, to moderate what we are doing, what kind of pleasures that we are engaging in. We may feel sad and lonely. We may also feel the need for companionship at low levels because we're feeling so lonely. We need people in our lives to keep us company. The downside of this is that we are not discerning enough and our standards are lowered to the point where people can take advantage of us more easily. We can be manipulated more easily. All these kind of things like that. All these issues are more likely now because our guard is lowered. Our expectations are lowered. So, what can be more difficult now is let's say that you have a 9 to 5 job, you're one of those people, and you get up in the morning and you just feel this sense of, ah, I can't get myself motivated to do this. I just want to relax and eat ice cream or watch Netflix or, do all these kind of things. It's like, why do I have this task that I have to do? Why do I have this work that I have to do? Oh, this feeling of being not motivated, not driven. So that might be a negative aspect, but work can actually counter your addictions, counter the things that you're overindulging in by putting your focus on more serious matters and steering you away from unhealthy pleasure engagement. So that's the positive side of work. Um so You might want to, you might feel like you want to engage in the pleasures of life instead of put yourself into the working mode. It's very critical, especially if you're very, very busy, to schedule time to do the things that you genuinely enjoy, that genuinely bring nourishment to your soul, whatever it may be for you. And I'm not going to list the examples, I've already listed examples, but whatever brings you joy. Now's the time to do that. Make time in your day for things that genuinely bring joy. Not obligations. There's no due date required on them. There's no expectations, no inhibitions, just doing the things that you enjoy. Making time for those things is crucial here. Successful relationships may suffer from rather uncomfortable moments. There may be disagreements, there may be schisms, there may be a falling out, there may be an argument, there may be a conflict in your relationships. If there is successful relationships, there may be this unwarmth, this coldness in relationships or this barrier from you connecting from you to the other person. So there may be these things here that may come up at this time. And so there may be stress and tension in your relationships, which may need to be talked about and addressed. You may feel that your feelings are overwhelming. Um, so do things to not make your feelings overwhelming. And you may crave emotional depth. This may be a very, very strong case with this. You may crave emotional depth, going deep into your emotions, having a strong, deep, bonded relationship. And so we need to evaluate now what fears are driving your reluctance to fully engage in relationships. What limitations are you having from you being vulnerable, or you being open-hearted, or you relating, or you connecting deeper with another person, have intimacy with another person. We are in Scorpio season after all, and Scorpio rules intimacy. And intimacy is into me, I see. That's what it is. Be sure that you recognize when you feel reactive and recognize your triggers, recognize your fears that are causing your reactions, that are causing what you are reacting to. This is the time of greater self-indulgence and sensuality. Um, and so there may be unsuitable partnerships due to a lack of self-understanding. There may, you might not understand yourself or you might not understand the other person. You have to understand yourself first of all before you can understand other people. You have to know yourself, know your values, know your needs, your wants, how you tick, how you go about your life, before you can then understand somebody else's, before you can expand that. Respecting yourself in order to then have the respect for other people. So it begins with the self. That's what it really, comes back to here. So, having a solid sense of you know, you know yourself very, very strongly. It kind of reminds me of that saying of putting on your oxygen mask first before you put it on the other person. There are some similarities, there are some ties to that. Um, and so self understanding is key to not let your intense emotions overwhelm you. Whatever you can do to not let your intense emotions overwhelm you, now's the time to do that in that direction. Now, the moon will also oppose Saturn. This creates, because Saturn's a malefic planet, it's a very serious planet. It creates feelings of sadness, loneliness, and boredom. You may find it difficult now to share your emotions, to really be open about your emotions, to express your emotions. It may be more challenging to do this now. So just be aware that this time may present that kind of difficulty in your path and on your path and in your direction. You might separate yourself from another person because you or the other person had a bad mood. There's a separation in relationships. If you try to socialize with other people at this time, it's likely that people will find you very cold, distant, and detached and aloof. So it's best to go into reflection, to journal, to meditate, do all these things quietly to do the work on your own instead of interacting and just be on your own at this time. Uh, and so you may be very pessimistic at this time. You may be seeing the glass half empty instead of half full. Depression can come about at this time. Feelings of loss, like you've lost things, and disappointment are powerful emotions now. And you're feeling more burdened by your responsibilities. You're like, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to feed the kids? Why do I have to take them to school? Why do I have to clean the house or mow the lawn or, whatever it may be? Um, so these responsibilities may put you in a state of you're feeling burdened by these responsibilities. So any kind of strained relationship may be kind of coming about at this time. Relationships feel more strained at this time. And you're feeling more lonely within your relationships. It's also hard to connect with other people at this time. It's very, very difficult to form deep connections with them. You need to make time to be alone, but also attend your relationships at the same time as well. You also need to find the root of your emotions. What is the true motive behind why I'm acting the way I'm acting, why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling? Changing your perspective around, shifting your perspectives, being open to perspective, being altered is very important here. Doing what makes you feel resilient, doing what brings you resilience is critical here. Developing greater emotional intelligence. This is also something that's critical. And self-care. It's very, very important that you do the things that are self-care related to you. Now, the card that I pulled for this day is the card Fellow Travelers. Support is all around you, is what it says. So you have support all around you. There's signs and omens. Support comes in many, many, many different forms, but you are supported, you are loved, you are helped. So the invitation here is to be open to that support, be available to it. First of all, you acknowledge the support that you have in your life, and then you open up to it. You don't have to do this alone. This is about allowing other people to help you. This is about knowing that you are safe. If there's anyone trying to give you good messages or good vibes or healing you in any way, shape, or form, recognize that and receive that coming to you as well. So that is your invitation for October 27th. Thank you, everybody, for watching. It'll be a great couple of days. Enjoy. Bye for now.